Hey guys, what's good? Just wanted to make a quick video of a new watch I just acquired, and ta-da, it's a Datejust. It's a two-tone Datejust. And I think personally the appreciation and sort of the acceptance of two-tone watches is on the rise. I mean, certainly the appreciation of all gold and precious metal watches, especially sport watches, is on the rise. But, you know, the two-tone is getting some love too, and I'm glad about that because I sort of went through a phase where I was kind of like one of those all steel or bust people. But, you know, as I get maybe a little bit older, as I understand and learn more about watches, and as I appreciate more classical styling, you know, I appreciate a two-tone Rolex Datejust a little bit more. So this is the reference 116261. It is a Datejust, but it is a Datejust turnographed. So kind of something a little bit different and something that hasn't been made for the last couple of years. The turnograph was an early watch from Rolex. You know, it's been around for a long time, but it was discontinued about, I guess, 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that. This was the last version that Rolex made. They come in a lot of different varieties, all steel, steel and rose, steel and yellow gold, oyster bracelet, jubilee bracelet, and all sort of like variations in between. But they all seem to have some cool special features. The turning bezel being one of them. It's bidirectional. It's a friction fit bezel, so it doesn't ratchet. It has that. It also has a lot of interesting red accents. You can see the seconds hand, the red date wheel. It's not a roulette date wheel though, it's all red, which is really cool. And as you can see, hang on one second, let me do that. You can see it has turnograph in red, and it used to be that having red letters or red writing on the dial was a really big deal. Dials with different colors now are not so much of a big deal, but it used to be a really big deal when it came to Rolex. Comes on the awesome oyster bracelet. Also, like I said, comes on Jubilee. Sorry, let me just try to get some of these marks off of it. Anybody that's, you know, had a polished Rolex oyster bracelet knows that, you know, you just look at it wrong and it's going to get like, you know, like fingerprints and smudges. But yeah, just a really pretty watch. I wanted a Datejust, and I wanted a two-tone Datejust, and a weird couple of things for someone like me to want, because as you know, most of my collection is stuff like this. Like today I have the Panerai Luminor on, but I don't know, I really wanted something with a little bit of flash, a little bit of blinginess. The rose gold does tone it down some, and let's try it on wrist. Before we put it on though, let me just kind of do a little size comparison. You know, 36 millimeters is certainly a men's size, or maybe a unisex size. It's a men's size though. It's a classical size. It's certainly, definitely, no argument, a men's watch, but it does wear small, especially when you're used to wearing like watches that are 42 millimeters or 40 millimeters and larger. Switching to a 36 millimeter watch, I mean, you really notice the difference in the size of the dial and the size of the watch. It's comfortable to wear, that's for sure. I think one thing that helps my Datejust is that it is two-tone. It's got some visual interest beyond just the you know, just the case and the bracelet. It's two-tone, so it's got some style, it's got some bling and flash, and I personally really like that. It wears just beautifully. You know, nobody makes better bracelets than Rolex. I mean, I don't care if we're talking about Vacheron, I don't care if we're talking about Patek. You know, maybe Audemars Piguet does, but for, you know, a sport watch, I mean, this is the best designed bracelet, and this isn't even the latest version of it. I mean, this was like maybe a version or two ago. You can see the watch on my wrist. I mean, my God, this thing is really, really comfortable. It looks really good. I mean, it looks really good, I know, in the video, but in real life, whenever that bezel and that bracelet catches the light, it just sparkles. I get a lot of compliments and comments on this watch, and you know, you can kind of understand why. It draws attention. You know, the multicolor nature of it, the gold nature of it. People notice it, you know, and some people say stuff. Other people, you can just tell, notice the watch. So I feel like it's a lot of watch. It's a lot of style, a lot of bling for the money. You know, these can be had around, you know, I think $10,000 or less, which is admittedly a ton of money, but I mean, you cannot touch a 41 millimeter bimetal, a two-tone Rolex Datejust for less than, I don't know, if you're getting it at like 14, it feels like that's a good deal, but at like 15, you know, 16, something like that, that's usually, I think, what they're going for now. The rose gold really tones it down a lot and makes it a lot easier to wear. And even though the watch has some bling, it has a lot of, it's still a Rolex. It's still just a workhorse watch. So I get the oyster case, I get a twin lock screw down crown, you know, so it's water resistant. You know, I swim with this watch, I wear it to work, and I have no doubt that it's going to just perform flawlessly. So anyway, like I said, a quick look at a two-tone Rolex Datejust in 36 millimeters, something a little bit different, but you know, something that I really wanted and something that I think is really cool. It's something that I think is a lot of watch and a lot of style for the money. So if you can pull off a 36 millimeter Rolex, it is small, and I'm somebody with a small wrist, so it works easily for me. But if you could pull it off, I think you get a lot of watch. Check out the turnographs though. I mean, the turnograph is a cool watch. It's got a lot of like interesting design cues, and it's got a lot of history in the Rolex line. It's been discontinued for a while. You know, who knows, they may bring it back. If they made this watch in 41 millimeters in two-tone with the steel, the rose gold, same black dial, red accents, I mean, that would be just like, that would be an epic watch. I mean, that would be a watch that I think would be very popular. I don't think they will though. I don't think Rolex wants to confuse their model lineup. And so this watch, I think, has too many of, it's neither fish nor fowl, as they say. It's not a sport model, but it's not a Datejust. It's kind of in between. It's kind of like one of these transitional style watches. And I really think that Rolex is trying to move their collection into all professional or all sort of like non-professional. Anyway, sorry, rambling. I hope you like this quick look at a really cool, really nice watch. One I think you would do well to own, and one that really made me appreciate, you know, the Datejust line, especially two-tone Datejust. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Take care. God bless. Look forward to making some more content soon. Bye.